It is Thursday, the 17th of May, 2018, and I'm here for your daily energy reading. Today I've grabbed the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and I'm going to just allow whatever cards want to come through, and we'll just feel into the energies of this rainy Thursday we have here in northern New South Wales. Wow, that flew out, so it's meant to be there. I just want to say at the beginning, this is a completely general reading, and it's for every astrological sign, whoever's been guided here to watch this. I'm just feeling into the general energies that are around for the collective. So it may resonate. Take what you want from it and leave the rest behind. All my details are underneath if you're interested in any energy work, readings. Yeah, I am really flexible with my time and the way in which I do the readings. I can do them on a private link to YouTube, pre-recorded, or Skype. Yeah, it's way more powerful when you're interacting one-on-one like that and live. Yeah, live. Okay, so the card that flew out straight away is the Ace of Cups. And straight away what comes up for me is self-love. Filling your own cup of love. Filling into that high vibrational energy that comes from deeply accepting and loving and being really compassionate with yourself, regardless of what's happening in your life. Right now, it's this transformation. I mean, transformation's happening all the time, but these energies seem to be pushing us to do this work really now. Like now, it's all happening. Things are coming up for us. Situations in our lives are coming up for us. There could be tower moments, challenges that are here for us to really deeply look at ourselves. And you know, instead of criticizing ourselves while we're seeking to improve ourselves, because we ultimately are whole and complete in each moment. However, going into the dark depths of ourselves, we see things that about, you know, we can see things get illuminated that maybe we don't want to see. And maybe that might we may question ourselves and question who we are. And that's all okay, so long as we're loving and accepting. There's no self-criticism on this path. It's just gently observing past patterns. We're human. We're learning. We're always learning. There's never going to be a time. Oh, wow. Hey, Kira. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, well, working like on a career path for sure. And thanks for your comment and thanks for being here. Yeah, working, like wanting something in your life. We really need to get to a point of really loving ourselves. And when we love ourselves, we understand what we value. Because we set stronger boundaries for ourselves when we come from a space of deep love for ourselves. We don't put up with anything, really. No. We can send out unconditional love to others, but it doesn't mean we have to put up with the way they're behaving. You know, deeply loving yourself is not settling for behaviors in others that cloud your happiness and block your path, because ultimately, and we can be compassionate with people, but it doesn't mean we need to spend lots of time with them, and it doesn't mean that we need those around us to block our path and where we're going. Ultimately, we're able to really gift our love to others. Otherwise, coming from an empty cup, Our love is more conditional, because we're seeking something back to fill our cup. But when your cup's full, it never gets empty. It never empties. It never empties. It's always full, because you're really, really loving and valuing and nurturing yourself. So Kira, so when you're working on a career path, like truly finding yourself, coming from that space of self-love is really going to serve you. What do you love? What do you value? What brings you joy? What did you love doing when you were a child? There's some really amazing questions to really sit with today, because we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So this so Kiara, this is something that you're struggling with, finding what you want to work on. Where do you want to put your energy? What do you want to do? Where do you want to focus? Because up this way is the Eight of Pentacles, is mastering your craft. It is putting in the focus and concentration and energy into pursuing what you want to achieve. So this is the Apprentice card. This is, can be a bit of monotony, just working on the same thing over and over again, but practice leads to mastery. It becomes a master craftsman after the apprenticeship through years of experience. Clear direction. Well, this is about not having a clear direction here, Kira. Okay, hopefully it's come back on. I'm not sure if it has, but hopefully you can hear me. So this is not really having a clear direction. Or it's not working on your path. It's not mastering your skills. Maybe it's yeah, I'm going to pull another card in a minute to get some more clarity on this, but this is not really working on your craft, on what you love. Yeah, and the Lovers are in reverse. So maybe your energy has been going somewhere else. Maybe, upright, this is a soul-based, soulmate union, merging of opposites. So then maybe there needs to be some integration within yourself to get to this place of wholeness within yourself. This doesn't necessarily need to mean that a relationship is broken. It just means it could also mean that integration of opposites. Maybe that's what needs to happen to create that wholeness and sense of self-love within yourself, is the merging of the masculine and feminine, because the masculine energy is action. It is decisiveness. It is moving forward with clear direction. And maybe that fusion of opposites, the masculine and feminine, hasn't taken place. So there's lots of information on the internet surrounding, masculine energy, feminine energy, and to integrate both of them to create wholeness. Because, masculine energy is that clear, focused action and direction. And if we have, maybe an imbalance of maybe more feminine energy, we're sitting maybe more with giving of love, like giving too much of ourselves to things that maybe aren't serving us, maybe giving our energy to something that isn't serving us, maybe giving our energy to a relationship that just isn't giving anything back in return, rather than focusing on where we want to go independently. Because, the feminine aspect is about giving and nurturing and union and harmony, whereas the masculine can be more about independence and focus and, purpose and, moving forward with that. So if we turn both of these around, this is the integration, the union of opposites. And so then when you have found that sense of direction and honored, found wholeness within yourself and that full integration of who you really are, you've merged together with the masculine, feminine energies are merged together, and then you've got more clear focus and direction on where you want to go. Because not only you have that sense of receptivity that is definitely feminine, and honoring that guidance, the intuitive nudges that come through, you have the drive and the fire and the energy and vitality of that masculine side of yourself to focus and move forward on where you want to go. So both of those are in reverse. So that's really something like sitting with that sense of self-love. And maybe also, like I said before, that could be, where are you putting your love? Are you putting your love into something that's your energy, into something that isn't serving you? Giving too much. That book, Woman Who Loved Too Much. Giving all your energy into something that's just not serving you, rather than focusing on something that will serve you and your future. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. It's just exactly what I was talking about. Temperance, a card of Sagittarius, but it's also, and this is a card of Gemini. This is integration. Physical, spiritual, masculine, feminine. Yeah. Alchemy. The merging, the fusion of opposites. Exactly what I was talking about. Full integration to create wholeness. Perfect. It's really funny. So yeah, I mean, until we find that balance, because this is about balance, harmony, you know, the yin yang, all of that, until we get to this place, it's going to be really difficult to find what we want to do. We need to find wholeness and love and acceptance for ourselves first. And then when we do that, we can move forward because we have a really clear sense of what we value, who we truly are, and where we want to go. Right now, the energies are calling us to go deep within ourselves, to really feel into who we really are. That crown wants to be placed on her head. You know, there is that crown in the distance there. There's a halo around her head. It's, yeah, look, the 2 cups, they're constantly flowing. It's that full, harmonious, infinite give, flow, give, take to yourself. Finding that center point, that 0 point, that essence of who you are. Yeah, Kira, yes, and that's exactly what this talks about, Kira, just saying, like, as women, we really want to nurture and heal, and we really are deeply compassionate. Majority, I'm not generalizing, but that's the feminine aspect. The feminine aspect is about nurturing and healing, but sometimes we give too much, like the book, like I said before, The Woman Who Loved Too Much, and we take away from ourselves. We end up emptying our cup, and we don't focus then on what will bring us happiness. We allow other people to get in the way of our happiness. No one can make us happy. It's up to us to find that balance, to find that harmony within ourselves, to really give so much to ourselves and fill our cups up till they're just spilling over. Then we have so much more to give. And we won't let anyone get in the way of our happiness then, because we will have very, very clear boundaries, and we won't settle for anything less than we deserve, because we have a very clear sense of who we are and what we will and will not put up with. And that definitely comes with self-love and truly and deeply knowing yourself. So I'll just see what else wants to come through, because there's been some harsh words here. This is the Page of Swords. This is a young air sign, Libra. Aquarius, Gemini, and we have Gemini here with the Lovers. But this is slicing things out of your life. Like you were just saying, Kira, just getting toxic people away from you so you can really, really focus on yourself. And it's not being selfish. It's ultimately self-love. And really understanding that you can only really give to others when you're first healed yourself. And sometimes we do just need to really decisively slice people out of our lives. But the page is kind of reckless and tactless and kind of can be quite heartless. So just, we need to be really careful about how we're communicating, because there are volatile energies around. And, you know, we don't really need to burn bridges. We need to actually, what the Taurus new moon really wanted to show us and teach us and to take with us on this new moon cycle is come from a space of love. First for yourself, sink into that heart space and then communicate. This is not sinking into your heart space and communicating. This is verbal diarrhea. This is ego. This is just saying it how it is, burning bridges. And sometimes, yeah, if someone's pushed you, it's not about beating yourself up about this, if this is the way it's been happening in your life, but learning from it. Because there's, you know, it's like the Five of Swords. Yep, you might have cut someone out of your life and you might feel good because you've really said what you wanted to say, but it's like that hollow victory. Do you really feel good when you walk away? Yeah, you might feel right, but would you rather be happy or be right? Because it's karma. How you treat others is ultimately how others are going to treat you. And, you know, it's a double-edged sword here. So really, that's one thing we really need to feel into is, are we coming from our heart space? Are we allowing our ego and wanting to win a fight, win a battle, prove that we're right? We have the Magician here, so we can create whatever we want. I'm not sure how this fell out. It could have been in reverse. It's manipulation, okay? It's manipulating others, like trying to, you know, really, this is like being aware of your intentions. What are you putting out to the universe? Are you trying to manipulate someone else with what you're putting out there? It kind of fell weirdly. This way, it's understanding that we're infinite beings, having this physical experience, and we are powerful creators, and we create with our intentions. We need to turn this up the other way, because this way, there's no clear, decisive intention here. What do you want to work on? We need to be decisive, use that masculine side of ourselves and decide what we want to focus on. What are we focusing on? What do we want to achieve? How do we want to create abundance in our lives? What do we love? What do we love to do? What do you truly want to create? What do you value? And to be able to be this magician, we need to come from a pure and open heart space. And this is coming from the essence of who you are, your core energy, your radiating core essence of who you are, because you're completely integrated, the masculine and feminine. This is up this way. You've integrated, you're whole and complete in and of yourself. You actually don't need anybody else. Maybe you want someone else so you can evolve and grow and expand and really feel into the intimacy of having a mirror, a potent mirror, because there is so much growth in intimate relationships. But this is all about first merging the masculine and feminine to become balanced, to get to that center space, to understand that to be the magician in your own life, you first need to be clear of your intention. And are you coming from a pure and open heart space? Is this the best creation, the best intention for your soul's purpose this lifetime? Or are you trying to manipulate others with your intentions? It's karma, baby. We always get to choose to be our highest, most best version of ourselves, or, you know, this ego-driven one-upmanship, this competitive, I showed them, you know, type energy. We get to choose moment to moment who we are. Are we coming from a pure and open heart space, or are we manipulating others? Are we slicing people out for our best interests and their best interests ultimately? Because, you know, if there is, you know, if you are both getting, if there are people in your life that are getting in the way of your happiness, and like you were saying before, Kira, they ultimately know they're not feeling good either in themselves and within that relationship. So ultimately, it is part of their life karma, and to move on, to learn the lessons of maybe seeing that you're not going to put up with the way that they've been treating you, and then ultimately when they go away from that, they'll have an ability to be more objective and to sit with how perhaps they were within that relationship and maybe learn something from it, or maybe not. But that's, you know, that's their life. You know, we cannot control what anyone else does or anything. Hey Lisa. We cannot control what anyone else is doing. Ultimately, we can just come from an open and loving heart space ourselves and seek to sink in there and shine our best light. And then ultimately, if we're not, you might have this person around you that's speaking to you like this, that's treating you in a very tactless, cold-hearted kind of way, but you get to choose how you respond, because you're balanced. You're really coming from this balanced place. And when you're balanced, like if something triggers you, I say this so many times, if something triggers you, it's actually our stuff to heal. Because whatever pain, whatever comes out of you is ultimately something that needs to be, you know, if you're expressing lots of anger, you've just got that anger inside of you. And we have this silver sword. Wow. These are amazing, these cards. I got them for my birthday from a beautiful friend, Chrissy. Power of Flowers. The silver sword. Let's have a look at it. Oh, it's a really long reading again. It's a bit long for a daily reading. Anyway, it's all good. All right, let's find it. I'm just discovering all these cards as well. I'm going to leave it there so I can hold this up properly. All right, it's not in alphabetical order, but I have found it. The Silver Swords. And we've got the Page of Swords. Isn't that interesting? The flower essence, the silver sword elixir, is rare and potent with a high vibrational frequency. It works its special brand of magic by releasing encoded information that has been stored in its cellular memory bank, completely opening one's energy centers and aligning one's body with the next 7 chakras above the crown. Wow. This remedy is best taken by itself. So the archetype, the celestial light bearer, beautiful. In many esoteric disciplines, it is taught that certain plant and mineral substances were brought to the earth from other galaxies. planets or stars, and that these life forms stand poised to aid and enhance the development of humanity, to take us beyond that which we currently think is possible. The silver sword may be one such gift. If we open our hearts to the possibilities beyond the material world, we may become acquainted with celestial guides who overlight our journey and help us pierce the veil of illusion. Yay. And healing. The presence of the silver sword is a rare gift. You have a heightened sensitivity and are indeed opening to new levels of awareness at this time. The luminous colors emanating from the light bearer's hands and above the silver sword flowers are waves of vibrational healing available to you at this time. The blessing is celestial greetings silver sword brings. Within its mysteries, a galactic tone rings. Arise and awaken as the universe sings. So this is the magician energy. We're creators. We're the creators of our own universe. There's always something to learn if you have this energy around you. Sink deep into the learning from this energy. That, you know, someone's gifting you with something here. Even it might be a harsh gift. There's people in your life to teach you something. We can either blame them or complain about them, or we can sink deep into ourselves and go, hey, how did I attract these people? What have I got to learn from this person? Why are they triggering me? And then when you do that, there's a sense of balance. You flip this up the other way. You integrate both aspects of yourself, and then you have a clearer direction on where you want to go. You find that balance and that self-love. It is deeply self-loving it's deeply self-loving to go deep within yourself and acknowledge all of those aspects you don't like about yourself. Yes, it's not fun. Yes, it's easier to not go into that dark cave and dwell there for a bit and really dig around in the murky mire and mud. But ultimately, you're going to shine brighter after you've been through there and illuminated all those unconscious things, and you come out more balanced and harmonious and with this beautiful halo around yourself, like a light bearer, like the silver sword is talking about. You have more of an ability to shine your own light because you haven't been afraid of going to the depths of who you truly are. But yeah, self-improvement, I don't know if I like that word. Digging deep and embracing all of who you are is challenging, but if you love and accept yourself and nurture and be compassionate with yourself all the way through, if you laugh at yourself, at your humanness, you know, at the mistakes you make and the quirks you have, if you can laugh at that, then you're doing really, really well, because life doesn't have to be as serious as we make it. And we have the forgiveness card. I also grabbed the Universal Love Oracle. This reading's really long. Sorry. Thank you for being here, whoever's still here. Forgiveness. So there's something or someone you need to forgive. It could be yourself. It could be forgiving yourself for your mistakes, forgiving yourself for not loving yourself enough, for not setting up clearer boundaries. Whatever, and whoever you don't think. Yeah, exactly, Lisa. People do come in specifically to, and if they trigger us, of course, it is for us to look deep within ourselves. Exactly. The bigger the trigger, the more healing need. Exactly, Lisa. Exactly. And sometimes we don't want to look though, and we'll just push that person away. Sometimes we'll just completely slice that person out of our lives and blame them for everything, rather than really sitting with ourselves. Because this can be, you know, there's a lot of relationship stuff going on. Yeah, there's a lot of like these really relationships that are coming up, that are really, really deep and potent mirrors. I mean, soulmate relationships. This is soulmate relationships, and these people can be your potent mirrors. So they can be very, very challenging because they can see you deeply and see parts of yourself that maybe you didn't want to see. So maybe it's just easier to slice them away, slice them out of your life, because you don't want to look, you don't want to go into that deep, scary, shadowy aspect of yourself and really think, hey, yeah, wow, that is me. Wow. But it's only when you do, if you stop blaming others and slicing them away with your ego and pride and like competitive nature, like, especially, you know, I feel yeah, pride and ego come into this because you don't want to look, you just want to, you don't want to dive into that. But if you want to get to this balanced place, and if you truly, truly love yourself and you want to be the magician in your life, you have to go deep. You really need to allow those things to just be, like, have unconditional acceptance for these people that come into your life. Yes, totally. It's been huge for me, Lisa, because I feel so grateful. I did so much healing. I just dive into my own personal stuff just very briefly before I separated with my long-term father of my children last year. And if I hadn't have done that healing, all of the things, all of his pain that was triggering him with the separation, I could meet and hold space because I had a deep knowing that it was his pain. Nothing was triggering me. But if I hadn't done all that healing, it would have, all of that stuff would have come, and it would have just been this ego like this, constantly back and forth, yielding the sword, fighting, fighting, fighting. So there's a sense of needing to forgive ourselves and forgiving others, because ultimately we're just all these beautiful infinite spirits here having this physical experience, and we're here for each other. And it's been said, the humans that hurt you most in this lifetime are the souls that love you the most. And that is huge, especially when you've experienced abuse as a child. But when you really flow back and look at the big picture of your life, if you hadn't gone through those experiences at that young age, you wouldn't be the human you are now, on this soul's path, doing what you need to do in this lifetime, the karma, the lessons, the things that you needed to learn this lifetime. And you wouldn't have the ability to heal the way you can heal others now if you hadn't been through those experiences. Those experiences are actual gifts. As hard as that is for so many people to sit with, being, you know, someone that's actually been through that sort of those sort of challenges as a child, that was really huge for me to sit with. But it all comes back to forgiveness. It all comes back to forgiveness. Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion and mercy, walks with the fiery dragon at her feet. Yet she constantly radiates love, compassion, and mercy towards all living things. Love has tamed the dragon, which now follows her with devotion. Kuan Yin is showing up in your reading today to offer you her assistance. A situation in your life is in need of healing. Forgiveness is essential if healing is to take place. Yet remember that in forgiving, you are not condoning another's actions. Rather, you are freeing yourself from ongoing negative attachment. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and in turn realize that the real prisoner was you. So if we really want to move forward with our lives and have a clear direction, if you're sitting with unforgiveness to do with someone, maybe someone's been really cutting and harsh with their words, but if it's triggered you, please know that it's something that you need to forgive within yourself. Someone's just pulled up at my house, so I'm going to have to leave it there. Big love, deep blessings. Thank you, Lisa. I didn't see that message, but I've got someone that's just about to interrupt my reading. Big love, deep blessings. Have an amazing day, and it's a very long reading anyway. See you later. Bye. Bye, Lisa. Bye.